Hi everyone, here's another live for you to enjoy.
Hello everyone, welcome. It's Rebecca here. Well, I've had a couple of quiet days because gastro hit me big time, and thankfully nobody in the house has come down with it. I have kept them at a distance. I'm perfectly fine now, on the mend. Excuse the dogs and the cats in the background because, you know, it wouldn't be my recording if it wasn't a bit mental. I might just put a bit of lip gloss on, make myself look a little presentable. Anyway, so I put chicken noodle soup on the board, and then I thought, oh, I want to do cookies too, because after you've been not feeling well, you want chicken noodle soup, but I feel like you always want a little sweet treat as well. So I thought, stuff it. The cookie jar is sitting here very empty and neglected, and has been for quite some time, so it's time to fill it up. So what I'm going to do is put the cookie dough on first, because this soup takes a total time of I think 25 minutes, which is insanely quick. However, it is with cooked chicken, so I have cheated today. Oh goodness, I have cheated today. What are you doing? Hey, oh my goodness, she's stealing all the washing. Come on, out. Leave it now. Come on. All right. Let me just put this out of reach of you. Why is it every time I go live you misbehave? Stop it. Right. Welcome to the nut house. So anyway, in the interest of hurrying up now, and I'm just going to start making the cookie dough. So the recipe I use is one that I've imported from Recipe Community that I really like. And it is the best chocolate chip cookies ever. So it's a big claim to fame, but you know what? They're pretty darn good. So, hi Charlene, can you do me a favour, honey, and deal with that comment there? So, I don't think I've fixed this recipe properly actually, but let's have a look. It wants the butter, vanilla, and the sugar to go in. Is that right again? See, this is the hard thing when it's not a Cookidoo recipe and it's not been uploaded properly. It can be really tricky to navigate. So bear with me, especially when my brain's a bit all over the place. But only the best chocolate chip cookies ever. If you Google that with the word Thermomix, it is on Recipe Community, and we can import Recipe Community to our Cookidoo, which is wonderful. The view is slightly different, but it's still very easy to navigate. Wants 125 grams of butter. So we'll weigh that in. My butter is straight out of the fridge too. It's probably better if it's a little softer. But anyway, it still works. I usually find the mixing with the sugar and everything tends to break it down for us anyway. And what I do is once I've got this together is let the dough either freeze up or fridge a bit before you cook it, and it makes nicer cookies. Yes, you can. Oh, Debbie, you can certainly look up the recipe for TM31, but you can't import it to a TM31, no. You just read it old school, like you would every other recipe. Yep. Thank you, Charlene. You're a darling. All right, I'm loving my new jars in my new pantry cupboard. So far, so good. It's all still looking nice and neat and tidy. We'll see how long that lasts. So 110 of white sugar, and then 110 of brown sugar. So brown sugar is a bit harder to, yeah, I'll spoon that out. I won't risk making a big mess of that. And then tear. If you want a lesson on Cookidoo and importing recipes, please go to my link tree and you'll see my YouTube channel, and I have videos there, 2 of them now, showing the process. I fully recommend you go look at those and learn a bit more about Cookidoo. Make sure you're getting the most out of your Cookidoo, because it's such a fantastic tool, but if you don't use it correctly, then, you know, you're missing out. You're missing out. Right, half a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm just going to give a squish of my vanilla bean paste for that one. All right, and then we're going to find the lid, which is here, and we're going to mix that together, and I have fix that. So it's a minute at 3.5. And then we're going to add the egg. Right, so especially for this recipe, you want to put your egg into a different container because you are going to mix it in through while it's mixing up. Now, the one thing I will say, and I always say it to you, is put your eggs in a separate container. Don't break them on the side of the bowl and into the mix with everything, because there's a very good chance you're going to end up with shell in there, and you don't want that, right? So, big tip from me, do your eggs in a separate container. You can even put them into your measuring cup as well. Works fine. Alright. And then we're going to add the flour and salt and knead it. Yes. That's where we are. Alright, so, oh, no, it's gone ahead where I was looking ahead. Here we go. So, with it running, we're going to add in the egg. So, here we go, back to here. So, 1 egg. I have found another recipe I like the sound of, a Mrs. Fields cookie. And I did have a quick look at it and I thought, oh, it's a few more ingredients than this one, and I just couldn't be bothered. So, no, it's not what you want in anything, is it? Yeah, I definitely will give the other cookie dough a try when I'm maybe not feeling like, because I'm standing here doing this, but I really probably could just go and sit down right now. For anyone jumping on, I've just got over rotten old gastro, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. So flour and salt, so it's self-raising flour. We want 250 grams. Now, I do love this recipe because it is pretty simple. It's butter, sugar, egg, flour, vanilla, salt. You know, a nice basic recipe. The Mrs. Fields one is baking powder, all these other things, bicarb. You know, I get it. It'd be nice, but for me tonight, this is my go-to. It's just too easy and quick and simple, and they're good cookies. We love them. So if you're wondering the recipe, it is the best chocolate chip cookies ever, something like that, on Recipe Community. All right, so we're kneading that together. So we knead the mixture together. I'll just rest that there, even though you don't really need to even have that there. Right, in the interest of keeping my pantry tidy, I'm going to put things away as we go, because I certainly don't need these for my soup. And then we're going to add the chocolate chips and stir it through. Oh, it's gone in there. So, it looks to me like it needs a bit more of a mix. Just scrape it down. Probably should have done that before I went ahead and mixed it. So please remember, look, Recipe Community recipes are amazing. There's some real winners on there. But they are uploaded by people sometimes who aren't experts at uploading recipes, so they can be a little hit and miss. But as long as you're confident to, you know, move it around and do your thing, you'll be fine. Where's Willow? She in our room. Excuse me a second. That naughty little puppy dog. What are you doing? What are you doing? Play with yourself. You're a rat bag. Come on, stop making all that noise. Come and sit down and be a good dog. Sit down. Sit down and be a good girl. All right, so add the chocolate chips. That's where I was at. I'll tear here, my bottom tear here. It never opens, does it? All right, throw that in. Now I'm going to go rogue because I'm going to let the machine do that, I'm just going to go back and do that kneading again. That'll mix it through for me. And quite honestly, I don't really care if it breaks it up a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Charlene. Only the best chocolate chip cookies ever. Recipe community. So if you put down the mix first, you'll find it. All right. So once that's done, what I'm going to do is put this mix into this bowl. All right, so there it is. Look at that. Yum, 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 yum. You could just about eat it, couldn't you? Hey, Dana. I'm just going to twirl it out of the bowl. Pretty clean, right? Pop that aside. And I'm going to go just stick that in the fridge like that for now. And then get on and make soup. So while the soup's cooking, I'll come back and roll up the cookies and get a batch in the oven, I think. So we can fill up the cookie jar. Which reminds me, I better put the oven on. Right. Okay. Moderate oven 10 to 12 minutes. Moderate oven 10 to 12 minutes. So, all right. Finish. My week. Chicken noodle soup. So, for anyone that's jumping on and missed the start, I have had gastro. Bad gastro. Luckily only for really 24 hours. So I'm on the recovery. I had a salad sandwich this morning about 11 and everything is good. I've had coffee, it's fine. Now I'm making soup because the one thing you feel like when you've been cook is soup, right? So, chicken noodle soup. This is just off Cookidoo. I'm just going to follow the recipe. However, I'm going to tweak it a little bit, of course. It wouldn't be me if I didn't do some sort of tweak. I'm going to add a bit of leek into the mix. So I'd ask for 100 grams of onion. And then I'm going to add a bit of leek because I just love, love, love the flavour of chicken and leek together. Dangerous. There. So yes, that's the old one. You can tell straight away. One cuts, one doesn't. Yep, that's the new one. I need to sharpen that knife big time. I've got a sharpener. I might just stick that there so I remember to sharpen that actually because there's nothing worse than working with blunt knives. Am I right? So hello everyone. Welcome along. Hope you're all well. What are you having for dinner tonight? What's on for the weekend? Anything exciting happening? I'm living very quiet after having gastro, which is never pleasant, but here we are. I've made it through. All right, so remember to always keep the top of your leeks for your stocks and things like that. So that will go in the freezer and get added to my next lot of chicken stock. I will, however, give my leek here a good clean because they do tend to get quite dirty in between. Alright. So yes, I absolutely love the flavour of leek. So when I read this recipe, I thought, nah, it needs a bit of leek in there. And I got this really good, nice big one from the supermarket this morning. So again, remember to put that green part away for other things. Don't waste it. Don't throw it out. And if you have this happening at the bottom, cut the bottom off and stick it into the dirt in the garden somewhere and you will miraculously regrow a leek, which is winning, right? Takes a little time, but it does happen. All right, olive oil going in. Keep that tidy in my little thing there. And then we're going to put our lid on. I'm going to chop that up. Oh, Brody, I feel your pain. Oh, stop it, Joanna. You go away, you lucky thing. Kelly, yes they are, quite often. Work, 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 work. Oh, honey. Yes. Some of us have to do that, don't we? All right, let me chuck these onion skins away. We don't need those. All right, so scraping that down, that's chopped that all nicely for me. For anyone that might be new here and wonder what the hell I'm doing, this is what we're doing. So I'm going to scrape that down. No doubt that's got the olive oil in there already, so we're going to saute that up. There's quite a few. If you search up on Cookidoo, oh no, we're heading on. If you search up Cookidoo chicken noodle soup, there's quite a few different recipes. I think this one, I have to have a look what collection it's from. Sliced 1 centimetre. Oh, why am I should be using my cutter, shouldn't I? Oh well, let's just do it. In honour of those of you that don't have a cutter yet, I'll just do it old school, because we can. All right, 100 grams of carrot, and same for celery. So I picked up what I thought was an absolutely lovely looking bunch of celery. It's a little hollow inside, so it's not the most wonderful celery after all, but anyway. It was cheaper to buy the bunch than it was anything else, so I went with that. Here, let's just use this board as it's intended. Oh, spot on. All right, now we're cooking. 5 minutes. So, how do you change the noise on the machine? So if it's a TM6, go to the 3 lines at the top left-hand corner, which we refer to as the burger. Okay, go to settings and go to sounds, and in there you'll see the volume. You can adjust the volume. I highly recommend putting the duration to 10 seconds because a continual ding 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 will drive you mad. And the melody, you can change the tune there. So that's how you do that. Settings, sounds. Alright, so that's going to jigger away. And then I'm going to not waste that either. So those are things that go into stock together. So in fact, while I'm here, that's enough celery to do a stock next time. That's going in a bag in the freezer, and I will make a stock out of that. So don't throw things out, find a purpose for them. Stock is a great way to not waste food, vegetables, all that stuff. Yes, it will drive you mad. So that's the best thing about having a delivery when you get your Thermomix from your consultant, so that they go through those little tips and tricks and tell you about turning the sound down, the duration, because that continual ding dong drives me mad, so I can imagine it would drive almost anybody mad. So for anyone that doesn't like to see people eating while they're live, please look away, because I'm going to eat a carrot while I'm waiting for this to do its thing. I've had the odd comment from people saying, ew, turn away. I'm going to dial that back a notch. Alright, water. Stop. Got the herbs. Okay, the wonderful thing about this particular recipe is it actually uses cooked chicken. And I was cheeky. I did buy cooked chicken this morning at the supermarket. She was literally putting them in the bag. And I went, I'll have that free range chicken, please. 2359. actually. And only for a little longer because the price is going up. Hang on. No. Numbers really trick me on the backward thing. How's that? Did I get that right? 2359. No, the 5 is wrong, isn't it? Yeah. There you go. 2359. It's going up to, let's see how I can do this now. 2, 5. Oh no. See, sometimes the writing backwards is easy, but not numbers. 5, 7. No, that's the right way. 7, 9. 2, 5, 7. Oh, look at that. Oh, the sticker on the dishwasher. Where's that? That's actually my magnet. I bought it to put on my car, and then I realised that my car at the time wouldn't magnet anything. So it actually lived on my garage door at the last house we lived at. But, oh man, that's so good. But when we moved here, we don't have a garage. So it went onto the freezer, the dishwasher. So that's actually like my magnet. Maz, that's so wonderful. I'm so happy for you. Tricked. All right. Oh, nice. Look at that. I love that. Just sauteed up lovely, all still intact. Lots of colour, lots of flavour. All right, I'll stop munching. Oh God, I was so close. Alright, so if you didn't have chicken stock paste, you could absolutely use your veggie stock paste. It says 1 to 2 heaped teaspoons to taste. So after not feeling well, my craving is always salt. So I'm going huge amounts of stock in this. I'll put a little bit more even. Alright, this stuff is flavour. So that is my chicken stock paste from the freezer. It does not go solid. You can freeze it and access it all the time. Oh, your bird just tried to... Does it want the carrot? I love that. That's so cool. Okay, teaspoon of dried basil. I'm a guesstimator. I'm not going to get spoons out for that. Right, oregano. All the nice herbs. And some pepper. And again, it says to taste. Don't be afraid to add some and then add some more after. Taste your food. Always taste your food. I'm blown away by people who say they find recipes bland. And I'm like, well, when you're making it, you're tasting it. You know, it's something that you need to know. 2 bay leaves. We'll obviously be bringing those back out once we're done. And on the lid goes here. 8 minutes. Okay, and then we're adding in the noodles and the chicken. I've got the chicken all pulled apart. I'm going to put this back in the freezer before I forget and munch on my carrot. What are you doing? You're very naughty. let's cook some cookies. Alright, put these away. They were easy to put away because they're alphabetical and I've tidied up. Oh, I love it. Alright. So let's replace the cutting board with the tray. Yeah. Alright. We'll do 2 trays. And we want my little cookie scoop. Here she is. So I've given that some time, the cookie dough in the fridge. It's really important to do that before you go to cook them. Otherwise, they'll just become a big splat melted mess, trust me. Now, the other thing I like to do is leave them in the little ball. Don't flatten them. And they stay a nice shape as they cook. And then with any of this dough left over, I will simply roll it into little balls, put it into the freezer in the little balls, and then I just have to pull them out of the freezer, put them on a tray in the oven, done. Another batch of cookies. So for anyone that's followed me along for a while now, that is not a new tip, but I'm sure there might be somebody new out there watching. These little cookie scoops, this is the Wilshire brand. I've bought it at Spotlight, I'm sure, or Harriscarf, anywhere that sells sort of Wiltshire cooking things. I love just getting the scoop, keeping it in a ball. You don't even have to roll it. You don't have to be fussy. It literally will just cook up really lovely. And we're a house that doesn't like a crunchy cookie. We like it to be a little softer inside. So I usually give it it says 10 to 12 minutes. I usually give it about 10 minutes, have a look, see what the colour's like. And if it looks the right sort of colour, then that's it. I'll stop it there. You just want them slightly golden on the outside. And then, of course, leave them to cool on the tray before you go taking them off. Because half the time they're still a bit gooey and still sort of cooking. So that's one tray. And just put that in. Hey Siri, can you time 10 minutes?
10 minutes, counting down.
So there we go. I didn't even count how many that was, but this makes quite a few. I won't do as many in the second lot because I find if I fill the jar too full, they're gone within 2 seconds. People get a bit carried away and eat too many. Anyone else? Joy, I'm on the Gold Coast, darling. I can help anyone Australia-wide. Maybe one more. Right, pop those in. All right, so with the leftovers, there's not that many left over actually. So, I have been known to double this recipe, and it works quite well to double it. What I'll do with the leftover here is, like I said, scoop it out into the balls, into a container and freeze it. And then you've got cookies ready to be cooked the next time you want cookies in the jar. And I normally do always have cookie dough in the freezer, but it's been a minute and we're out. You want summer back, you hate winter. Yeah, well, we're pretty spoiled on the Gold Coast. It is cooler today, but I'm a winter girl. I love winter. I'm a hot, sweaty mess most of the time. So winter is my favourite. I love being able to wear clothes that I like and not feel hot and sweaty. You can have your Florida. I've heard that. I don't think I could ever go. I've heard it's just like, no, not even, our hot is like heaven compared to your hot. Your hot is just the hottest of hot. So probably never likely. And I'd happily live in the UK. Maz, I wish. I loved my time there. I had a ball. It was my kind of weather. I know everyone thought I was mad, but I do love the cold weather. I feel like with cold weather, you can always put on clothes and get warm, but in the heat here, you just cannot. You've got to take your clothes off and it's not pretty. You get arrested. Right, so cookie dough balls for next time. They'll go in the freezer. All right, so with my leftover top of the leek and the bits of celery we won't eat for stock, stuff in the freezer. That's done. So, all while, in the kitchen anyway, it's a great time to get stuff done. If you're doing one thing, plan it out and do a couple of other things at the same time. Alright, so, how long's this got for? Oh, perfect timing. Okay, so I've pulled my chicken apart, it's in here. Next we're going to add in the noodles. It does say medium noodles. I had thin in the house, and to be honest, I don't love medium noodles. I like thin noodles. So, chicken noodle soup, honey. It's on the board. Hello, Oklahoma. Yeah, it is so much easier to warm up than to cool down. Especially if you're a hot person like myself. And I'm dying to come to New Zealand, Joy. Absolutely dying to come to New Zealand. We have a once a year team leader trip, and they just announced the other day it's in the Mornington Peninsula down in Victoria. I was kind of hoping they were going to say New Zealand. Because obviously we are Australia, New Zealand, but I suppose there's less of the Kiwis to come over to Australia than there is of the Aussies going to Victoria. But anyway, there we go. I don't use 2-minute noodles. I only use noodles that are just noodles. Those things are covered in God knows what crap, and I'm not a fan. All right, there we go. That's 100 grams of noodles. And then we want the chicken, and I don't care how much it is. I'm putting it all in. So, not much more than what it asked for. So that's good. And then we're going to insert the spatula through the mixing bowl lid. Stir the spatula until the noodles are tender. Oh. Like I said, I've never made this one before. But it has a good star rating, so I thought I'll give it a go. It just wants us to do this until the noodles break down, obviously from those round cakes that they're in. I think they'll be fine. I don't really see myself having to stand here stirring that. And then what? Adjust seasoning, discard the bay leaves, ladle into warm bowls, and serve hot. Yes. Yum. Well, MIB, where are you located, darling? True. Snow cold. Oh, I love snow. I'm a skier. Well, I used to be a skier. I haven't skied since I had my son. He's 20. That's terrible. If you're dying to own one, now is the time. The price is going up. Save yourself $220. And listen, there are payment options available. Yeah, those noodles are broken up already. That is fine. I'm going to leave that do its thing. Put these back in the cupboard. Oh, there's a hole in the packet. Oh, don't you hate that? All right, let's fix that. I shall transfer them into another packet. Right. And let's just put all the loose bits in here. There we go. No, I have not heard of a 2 kit. Or whatever that is. Unless it's got something to do with Thermomix, I'm unlikely to have. If it's something really good, tell me about it. You know, the funny story is someone saying that they'd love to own one of these, their cousins telling them about it from overseas. I was exactly the same. My cousins in Melbourne were saying to me, you've got to get a Thermomix back. It's the most amazing thing, changed your life. And I was like, yeah. And 2 years, 3 years later, I actually ended up signing up, becoming a consultant. And here I am. Listen, if it's something similar to a Thermomix, it's a copy of a Thermomix. This is the original. It's been around for 51 years. And this is an apron that celebrates the 50 years of Thermomix, which was 2 years ago. So there are plenty of copies. I'm not interested. I sell these. These are the original and the best. But thanks for asking. Might be similar, but it won't be the same. So here we go. What have we got? We've got 6 minutes on the countdown. I think I'll end the recording there because this is boring, just this chatter. I'll share a picture of the cookies and the soup once we've dished it up. Thanks for joining. And I'll put this onto YouTube and to Facebook as well. See ya. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Trust me, this one is a 10 out of 10. This soup, if you're feeling under the weather, make it chicken noodle soup. Plus, can't beat the best ever chocolate chip cookies from Recipe Community. Thanks everyone for joining.